No. Yeah.
Anna, we're ready whenever.
All right, good evening. Welcome to the Town of Rensselaerville Planning Board meeting for Thursday, November 7th. The agenda for tonight is approve the meeting minutes from October 17th, the Campanaro minor subdivision, the Criswell minor subdivision, and then the McKenna historical appropriateness review. And then we'll enter executive session for the purposes of personnel and employment discussion. So our first agenda topic is approving the meeting minutes from October 17th. So I don't have any updates or additions. I'll just ask if anyone from the board does. Oh,
It's the owl.
is that the owl?
Was that the owl?
Yeah.
It's the owl.
That was on the view? Had to ask.
Well, that's what they call the thing in the middle. It looks at the whole room recording. All right, well,
Continue.
our third updates, I'll accept a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
Make a motion.
Motion by Dominic, second by Brad, all in favor? Aye. And opposed, none, motion carried. All right, so our first item is the Campanaro subdivision, so we received your updated mapping here. And from our last meeting, we had asked for 3 things to be conducted, which was the addition of the abutter across the street on County Route 354, the addition of the zoning districts, which we see, and then the proposed boundary line agreement removal. Just wondering, did they have a reason for keeping the proposed boundary line agreement still on the mapping?
He didn't say, he just felt that he wanted to leave it.
Okay,
So we made that, we changed the lot size, as you can see, we evened it up a little more. So the original lot with the house is basically what it was before.
okay, okay. Was it lot one, the lot one?
The one with the house.
Okay. All right, so we'll just have to update, we'll just have to update the documentation here, and at the end, we'll have you initial, just the change. So. I'll put it up later. So going through the list of items for this, you can, let's just have it. Where did it go? I don't know if the board has any other questions on the mapping.
No.
Well, with that being said, we're okay with leaving that. It was more so just a protection for you in the future and everything, but we've consulted and it's all set with leaving that. So the mapping's all good. So we'll move on to reviewing seeker form part 1. And on that, you had left page 2 blank that you had wanted us to do that together with you.
Yes,
So as we go through it, we'll mark it off the answers of appropriateness and then just ask you to initial after. So for the board, this is for the Campanaro subdivision. First question, does the proposed action only involve the legislative adoption of plan, local law, ordinance, administrative rule, or regulation? No. Does the proposed action require a permit, approval, or funding from any other government agency? No. The total acreage is denoted on the mapping, and we'll initial those updates later. 4, check all land uses that occur on the adjoining or on or adjoining near the proposed action, and it's residential suburban. Do we agree with that word, or should it be rural, non-agricultural? I think rural, right, probably. All right. This is where we will answer these as a board. Is the proposed action A, a permitted use under zoning regulations, and B, consistent with the adoptive comprehensive plan? I believe that answer is yes for both. Is the proposed action consistent with the predominant character of the existing built or natural landscape?
Yes.
Yes. Is the site of the proposed action located in or does it adjoin to a state listed critical environmental area? No. Will the proposed action result in substantial increase in traffic above present levels? No. Are public transportation services available near the proposed action? No. Are there any pedestrian accommodations or bicycle routes available on or near the proposed action? No. Does the proposed action meet or exceed state energy code requirements?
Yes.
Will the proposed action connect to an existing public-private water supply? No. Will the proposed action connect to an existing wastewater utilities?
No.
No. Does the proposed site action, or is it substantially contiguous to a building, archaeological site, or district which is listed on the National or State Historic Register of Places, or has been determined by the Commissioner of New York State Office of Parks and Recreation to be eligible for listing on the State Historic Places? Is the proposed project site or any portion of it located on or adjacent to an area designated as sensitive for archaeological sites in the New York State Office of Historic Preservation? No. Does any portion of the site or proposed action or lands adjoining the property contain wetlands or water bodies regulated by a federal, state, or local agency?
No.
Would the proposed action physically alter or encroach into any existing wetland or water body? No. Identify the typical habitat types that occur or are likely to be found on the project site. So this is where I think we'll need a little bit of your help. Is it forest and agricultural lands?
No. Mostly wooded and some field area, small field area.
Okay, so
Grassland.
lands and forest would be the next for wooded, okay. Does the site of the proposed action contain any species of animals or associated habitats listed by the state and federal government as threatened or endangered? No. Is the project site located in the 100-year flood plan? No. Will the proposed action create stormwater discharge either from point or non-point sources?
No.
No. Does the proposed action include construction or other activities that would result in the impoundment of water or other liquids?
No.
No. Has the site of the proposed action or adjoining property been the location of an active or closed solid waste management facility? No. And has the site of the proposed action or adjoining property been the subject of remediation or ongoing remediation for hazardous waste? No. All right, so we'll do part 2 now. Actually, I'll classify it first. So for part 1, I will now accept the motion that the action be classified as unlisted.
Make a motion.
Motion by Laura,
Second.
second by Dorothea. I will also accept a motion that the town of Rensselaerville planning board be designated as lead agency.
Make a motion.
Motion by Dominic,
Second.
second by Carol. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, none. Motion carried. All right, so part 2 of the impact assessment form is guided by the concept, have the responses been reasonable considering the scale and context of the proposed action? So for this, I will assume no or small impact may occur unless the board feels otherwise. Will the proposed action create material conflict with the adopted land use or planning zone regulations?
No.
Will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of local land?
No.
Will the proposed action impair the character and quality of existing community?
No.
Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of the critical environmental area?
No.
Will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway?
No.
Will the proposed action create an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities? Will the proposed action impact A, existing public and private water supplies? Or B, public and private wastewater treatment facilities?
No.
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources?
No.
Will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources? Will the proposed action result in an increase of potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems?
No.
Will the proposed action create a hazard to the environmental resources or human health?
No.
Okay. So since we have completed part 2, the next step for this, I'll accept a motion that for the reasons stated in the notice of declaration of significance, a negative declaration be made.
Make a motion?
Motion by Brad,
Second.
second by Dominic. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none? All right, so we do have to refer this over to Albany County Planning Board, just because you are on a county road over there, so, the next step in our process is just holding a public hearing. And as part of that process, we refer it over to Albany County. They take a look at the application, make sure they don't have any concerns that weren't addressed by our review. Usually it's a very smooth process. And as part of the public hearing process, we a legal notice in the paper, just letting the public know that this is occurring and when, for them to either make public comment or submit them in writing. And then as part of that, you have to mail out the legal notice as well to your abutting property owners. And that has to be done via certified mail. But we prepare the legal notice for you to send. We give you the list of people, so you don't have to do any of that. And then at the public hearing, you just bring back those certified mailers that you get from the post office as proof that you mailed it.
Right.
That's all we need, is just the proof. So, Amanda, what's the next date of the Albany County?
For November, it's gonna be the 21st. In December, it goes to the 19th.
Do we have enough time still to refer for November?
We do.
Okay. So we can refer this over for Albany County to review it on November 21st. And we can hold your public hearing that day, that evening. However, we do need Albany County's response back in order to take final action on it. And we just might not get that day, but we can wait for it and take final action at the next meeting.
Mhm.
I would recommend probably doing that, only because if we wait till December, we're pushing you out like another month. So we could have this wrapped up theoretically, if everything goes well, by December 5th, right?
If not the 21st.
If not the 21st.
Yeah.
So, would you like to wait for us to refer it now and have the public hearing on the 21st? Or wait another month?
Yeah, we do the 21st.
21st, okay. So, with that being said, I will accept a motion to schedule the Campanaro public hearing for November 21st. By Carol, second by Dorothea, all in favor? Aye.
So,
Okay.
All right, so that's all that we have for you today. Could you just come up and initial?
Yeah, so when will I get the notices? That you want me to send out?
I can draft them up tonight and I will email them to you before I leave this
Okay.
evening.
He made a few changes in there.
So I just need you to initial the changes that I made there. The changes that I made there. You can just initial the whole page, the bottom.
Yeah, okay.
Just the bottom for this whole page. And then just redate that for today, the 7th. And that's everything. So we have your email on file and we'll send you that
You send me a notice and
and the list of
then
abutters.
listen, and then I'll send them out certified.
Yeah. And just make sure when you come back on the 21st that you bring the proof of mailing.
The receipts. for-
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep,
all right, so I'll keep looking for them in my email.
okay, sounds good.
Okay, very good.
All right, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Good evening.
Look at you, know exactly. It's a feature.
It's always that.
Good night, everybody. Good night, guys, thank you.
Good night.
Have a good day.
Good night.
I sit on your door, I love that.
Can you just include that in the
Yes.
email?
That's why I asked.
Good night, ladies.
Yeah, this is not stuff, guys. I'm trying not to leave the mess until the end of the night. You guys have a meeting? Did I give you back your mess?
No, it's a solar, so.
Oh, the map, I just passed it down.
Oh, hold on, did I put it? No, for Chriswell.
No.
How did I misplace that?
Do you need another one?
For Chriswell?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the map.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Did I give that back to you when I handed it?
If you did.
Oh, okay. I do need that. Sorry. Because I didn't get that with the packet. Sorry. I thought I was going crazy.
Wait.
All right, so next on the agenda is the Chriswell minor subdivision. So the applicant has paid the application fee of $250. We have received the site visit consent form, proof of paid taxes, and the recorded deed, the subdivision application, as well as the seeker form. So would you mind just giving us an overview of what you're proposing for your project?
Sure.
And I don't know if folks want to take a look at it, I can pass it down.
So basically, I have 30 acres. My wife and I moved here 15 years ago, built our house on the existing property, which is lot 1 on the map right now. Last year, I put a barn up, just meter barn, more storage. And that's pretty much where it is. We're both getting ready to retire. My wife and I work here as teachers in Carroll Durham. And we love the community, we love our property, but we don't need the house we live in. It's too big. So eventually, we're gonna probably build a house on that side of the property just because we love the view and like our neighbors.
All right. All right, so we'll go through, to ensure that the mapping meets criteria, which I don't know if folks want to get up or we only have one. It's okay if you
I
don't.
think I have one more map.
Oh, okay.
Here, let me just take a look. Not sure. Oh, yeah, I'm not sure. No, I don't, I'm sorry.
This one,
There was, because it had been this
handwritten.
handwritten.
Pete, because you don't have a map at all?
I gave
You handed
4
us.
copies to, and then I had this one in mine.
Oh, wait, hold on, is this it? No, that's not it.
Did you put it in the folder?
I might have put it in the folder, I didn't think I did. That is so weird. It was just here. Weird things are happening tonight with the owl and. Hold on.
So you had 5 copies of the map total.
I had 6. I had
Now we have
that one I
one.
gave to, I did 4 to the packets I put together, and then I'm missing one at the moment.
What the heck happened to it? It's okay. We can still work with this one for now.
All of those.
Yeah.
Here, give me that one.
Then up where you were making copies of the packet.
I'm gonna double check, but put these away.
I have no idea. Okay, that's strange. All right, so for the mapping criteria, you have to ensure that the names of all adjoining property owners are on there. When I reviewed the mystery map that was missing before, everything was on there except for across, which is what we just asked Mr. Campanaro to add on.
Yeah. and both copies.
Yes.
That's Gunn's property over there. That's Gunn's, right? Is that Gunn's property? That Cooks use?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Gunn.
So we would just need, the addition of that property owner across the street.
If I just did, I don't know his first name, Dorothy, you know. Tim Gunn.
Okay, your surveyor will have to just
Edit the map.
edit the map.
He'll edit
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Yeah, they can do that. And it's actually the same surveyor that the prior gentleman used, so they should be,
Yeah, he's in the neighborhood.
He's in there a lot, according to him.
yes.
Drew is very thorough.
So, the tax map sheet block and lot numbers, see the lot numbers and the tax numbers on there. The location and boundaries of the proposed subdivision in relation to the municipal boundaries. Have any concerns there? Have anyone else does? Contour lines with intervals no more than 20 feet. Location and identification of existing streets and natural features, which we do have. We have the creek on the bottom. We need the proposed layout of lots, including the approximate dimensions and area of the lots, which are present. Existing permanent buildings and structures and utilities. The existing are there. Existing restrictions on the use of land in question. Yes. a description of the proposed street layout, recreation areas, systems of drainage, sewerage, and water supply on the subdivided area. That would be lot 2. And lot 2 is where you're going to be putting a house?
At some point, yeah. There's
Okay.
nothing on there at all. There's no electric, there's no well, there's no septic, there's nothing. I did have a perk test done. I still have.
I might have.
Yes.
Yeah. But they're sending it digitally now.
Oh, they can't.
Okay. They never emailed me. so-
No, he didn't come up with it.
Yes, but he, when he was signing
Talk
the
to Ed,
papers.
CP, anything.
Yeah, and I don't think so either. No, you got
So strange.
call
I
that.
do get.
So on the map that you had before, that we can't seem to find at the moment, there was hand drawings of the.
That was just me messing around with it, yeah.
So we do need that on these maps, the proposed addition of the house, well, septic. So that's something your surveyor will need to add on.
I won't have any, well, or I won't even be putting in septic yet.
You're not locked
No,
into it.
purely
Yes,
proposed
it's-
to show.
I mean, what you saw, I don't, was that the map that had the?
No,
The
that-
mystery map that's.
Yeah.
That's the
Okay, yeah.
mystery map.
But that is,
I basically put it on there, I mean, so the surveyor has to have that, I can't hand draw that.
Correct.
yes, correct. So he should be familiar with that request when it comes up, but like Andrew said, you're not locked into it, it's proposed.
So I have to call the surveyor, have him come back out?
No.
and-
No,
He can do it right off of the map in his computer.
Okay, so I just have to explain where I.
Wherever he proposes it, make sure it abides by the zoning laws, your road
There's
frontage, your
setbacks
setbacks
from
and everything like
wells and
that, that's the
property
biggest thing.
lines and
Wherever it ends up on, it's not a
driveways.
big deal, your setback from your well, septic,
Oh,
so
yeah,
on and so
no, the
forth.
100 feet from the.
So just make sure all of that is accurate.
yeah,
Well, the perk test has already been done, so deep well, everything's marked, the stakes are still in the ground, so that's set with the surveyor. Yeah, well, I'm not ready to tap yet, that's a little too pricey at the moment.
yeah, no worries. So otherwise, just so the board knows that the mapping meets all other criteria. The only additions that your surveyor needs to make are the addition of the property owner across the street and the proposed new structures, well, and septic. So he should be familiar with that, but otherwise, it looks good. It has everything else that the map needs. And with that, that's as far as we can take it tonight.
Sure.
And then when you come back, we'll review your seeker form and the application and everything, and make sure that everything there looks good. It'll be the same process that you just saw us go through with that gentleman before you.
What's
And
my timeline on getting the surveyor to, so he's got to redraw a new map, print that off and mail to me, and then I bring it here?
Yes, yep. And our next meeting is the 21st of November. So we would just need that submitted by the Friday before that meeting, which is, where's my calendar? Do you have it up, Amanda?
You got it up.
And if for some reason he can't make it down to do the survey by.
Then it would be the next meeting following that, which would be December 5th. So the 15th is when we would just need that documentation back by. And then the 5th, then the 21st would be the meeting. And if that can't work out, then it would be December 5th, but. And then in terms of like, let's say we have that meeting, everything looks good. You are on a county road here, so we'll have to, same thing that you just heard before, we'll have to refer it, do the public hearing. But it should be a pretty seamless process after the mapping's updated.
I'm in no hurry.
Okay. So, but yeah, we appreciate you coming tonight, and if you have any questions on what needs to be updated, you can email us as well or
I think it's
call.
pretty cut and dry. so.
Okay. So, I can give you back this map.
If you need it, keep it.
No, it's okay, we'll take the updated one,
You sure?
yes. I don't want to take your only map at this point.
I'm gonna get another one, it's gonna be updated.
It's okay,
Okay.
it's bothering
Watch,
us.
tomorrow you're gonna find it, tomorrow it'll come up.
It'll-
It's the way it is.
Thank you, Mother, grabbed it. Maybe, I don't know.
He may have to.
Oh.
You check it out.
Yeah,
Oh, that could be,
that's the only reason we haven't left.
that would be the only way it could disappear.
He'll look like a surprise when he, this is not my house.
Yeah, well, luckily he doesn't live far from.
Yes, right around the corner.
All right, so do you have any questions for us?
No.
Okay. All right, well, thank you. We meet the first and the third Thursday of every month, so, and Dorothea knows the process if you have any questions.
I already went down to her house.
Yeah.
That's how I filled out the form, so it is fun to double check everything. I just
Okay.
try to make sure everything's in order before I do it.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay, so our next item on the agenda is the McKenna Historic Appropriateness Review for solar. All right, we do have this. Did not- So, guys, I apologize, we only have one copy again here. So would you mind giving us an overview of what your proposed project is?
Sure, it's, on Main Street in Rensselaerville, we're gonna have a 33 panel solar system installed on the roof for residential use, and it's non-reflective solar panels on the south facing side. And, they have little micro inverters, so this goes right down to the side of the house, and we will hopefully be able to power everything with solar energy in the house, and, it's only on the roof and only on the south facing, side of the roof.
And that south facing side is
It's on Main
on,
Street, yeah.
okay, on Delaware. Are they visible from will they be visible from the road?
Not in front of the house. If you're down below, in the wintertime, you'll be able to get a glimpse of the roof. And if you're above, I don't know if you know, the bridge,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can get a glimpse in the wintertime. There'll be foliage in the summertime.
okay.
But they're flush with the roof. They're black, like the roof is now, they're non-reflective.
So I can just give a quick overview as to why this application's here. It's based on this law adopted back sometime in the 90s, our historic preservation one. Now, the solar panel is permitted as of right in this area, so we're not saying yes or no to the panels. We're reviewing, since it's in this historic district, the applicant's required to get a certificate of appropriateness due to this addition in the historic area. So I'll just read a little blurb about what this actually is. No person shall carry out any material, exterior alteration, restoration, reconstruction, or new construction of any designated historic structure, landmark, or property, nor shall any person make or entity make any material change in the external appearance of a designated historic structure, or with respect to any exterior elements visible from a public street or alley which affect the appearance and cohesiveness of the historic property, structure, or district without first obtaining a certificate of appropriateness from this planning board. So that might sound like, so I'll go to the next section to see what we're actually. So the planning board ultimately issues this certificate of appropriateness, yes or no? And in that decision, we're looking at the following principles. Properties that contribute to the character of the historic district shall be retained and preserved with historic features altered as little as possible. Any alteration shall be compatible with the historic character as well as the surrounding district. New construction shall be compatible with the district. New construction shall not have a negative impact on the condition of the structure. And in applying the principle of compatibility, the board shall consider the general design, character, and appropriateness of the property of the proposed alteration, the scale of the proposed alteration, texture, materials, and their relation to similar features of other properties, visual harmony with surrounding properties, the importance of historic, archaeological, or other architectural or other features to the significance of the property. So essentially, we're just making sure it doesn't, for lack of a better term, clash with the historic district. this law was obviously written before rooftop solar mounts were a thing and before they were non-reflective, which I think the applicant stated they are.
There.
That's basically it.
Tim, you've worked with the applicant. Do you have any concerns or?
I don't. I think Andrew did a good summary of what happened. The law happened 20 years ago, and that's when these things were
Yeah.
reflective, and there was flash and glare, and the glass was different, and people were concerned. And there was ground mount units. We moved to, we do rooftop units, and the industry has taken care of all that, glare and reflective issues in the way they manufacture. But I'd like to add that this procedure, this process happens within the planning board here. You guys, this is a one-shot deal. This isn't something that goes to Albany County or has a public hearing or anything like that. What you guys see and what you say is something that happens. It's a one meeting process. There are other solar panels in the hamlet.
There are, okay.
Yeah.
Is
Where
your,
are they?
Next door.
Next door.
Okay,
okay,
roof mount
Yeah, in the barn.
Yeah, we don't have any ground mount in the hamlet.
and,
Everything's up on a roof.
okay. And obviously they didn't come before us with those.
I'm not sure if they did or not. to tell you the truth.
Interesting.
I know that we've talked, we've discussed this before about,
yeah,
just permitting these things by right. And the historic appropriateness is for any exterior, it's talking about windows and sheds and additions and porches and all that stuff. And solar panels just happen to be a building product, they have to,
They're caught up in the mix.
they're caught up in the mix.
If any of the board remembers the other ones we looked at, I don't know the specific properties, but they were historic houses down there. When we were looking at the siding they were using, you looked at everything.
Yeah.
including roofing.
Yeah, roofing material.
Is your home a registered, historic home?
Yeah, I just had a bunch of work done it that he oversaw, fixing the foundation, and we did it with
Yeah.
traditional. We're trying to have a
Yeah.
vested interest in making the house remain as historic as possible.
What year is it built, if you don't mind me asking?
It was built in two sections. The front, where the solar panels are, is 1809. It's one of the first houses in the village. And then the back section was, I think, 1903.
The word that triggers the review here is the district. Because the
Yeah.
hamlet has been considered as a registered district.
So I want to pose this to the board, because this is something that's newer coming to us right now, and considering its historical significance and location in the hamlet. Would the board be open to doing a site visit of, I'd be interested to see just your neighbors
Sure.
and see where, now's a good time because the foliage is falling, to see, the different points that you said.
I can show you on my phone pictures of the house if you want to see them. I have all the way up Main Street in stages of what the house looks like right now, if you want. It's up to you.
I think it might be best for us we don't have to go inside the house, but just to go and
Sure.
take a look at it, if you'd be willing to do that.
I'm fine. I'm leaving the country tomorrow for 10 days, so.
Okay,
And my issue is that I would like to get this approved and have it installed before the end of the year, because there's a very good chance that these federal tax credits will not be
yeah,
pertain in the next administration. And so, I'm happy for you guys to take a look at it. It's just that I need to schedule the construction of this before December 31st, so it's operational, so I can file it on my 2024 taxes.
when do you return home?
I'll be here on the 21st, I can be here.
Yeah, we could,
I don't know if the applicant needs to be there. If we're
Yeah.
I
not-
don't have to be there.
we don't have to be
You
there.
People
can
can
go
just,
tromp all over my property, I don't care.
Yeah,
I just mean if we're
Yeah,
not
we
looking
don't-
at the inside.
we're not looking at the
Yeah,
inside.
no, you just want to see what
Just
the,
perspective.
Yeah. So we have a site visit consent form, would you mind filling that out, just
Sure.
to? And you're okay with us walking, your
yeah, you
yard
can
and
walk, yeah.
taking a look
Yeah.
around? Okay, we promise we will not Right
But you,
next
you know,
to it.
the panels are only going on the south facing side on toward Main Street. That's it. So
Bring
there's,
that map.
Yeah, can we keep that?
sure.
Okay.
Give us a little better.
And then, I think at the next meeting, we could probably have a determination on this.
I would agree.
We just want to do our due diligence and make
Sure.
sure and see it from all the different vantage points that we described. But like you said, they should be non-reflective and we'll
It's
take,
reflected in the specs that they're
Yeah.
non-reflective.
yep, and so we'll take all that into consideration. We just want to make sure, considering the location of it, that everything is
Sure.
is okay and there's no concern. Andrew, do you have anything else that, for the board that we would want to look at or know?
And when you go upon,
As you're going downhill,
yeah,
yes.
because the map, the one on the is past 85, but it shows on the other side of the road because it's one of.
I don't know what you, can I take a look at what you?
This makes sense because this is actually what you're looking at, but this icon.
Yeah, that's
That's
what,
on the other side of the road.
yeah, it's across the street.
Okay.
So it's the, yeah, it's on the uphill side.
So that's the site visit consent form right there. If you wouldn't mind just filling that out and returning it. And then I guess I'll ask the board, maybe we can do this after our executive session about a time.
It's gotta be in the daytime.
It has to be in the daytime and we're limited on hours. Yeah. Would, maybe.
I mean, look, I just hope you can do it and I can get this scheduled because I've already applied for all of my grants and all of my financing. And if you don't approve it, I'm gonna lose a lot of money.
Yeah, we're
So
not
I need to
trying
know
to,
very quickly what you guys think, that's all.
we will have the site visit conducted before you return. And we'll have a determination at that meeting, but would the board be free the morning of the 16th? It's a Saturday. I know we all work and everything, so I know evening time is not ideal during the week.
Yeah.
The house is on a public road, you can, and a public sidewalk, you can see it
Okay,
any weekend, you don't have to go as a board, you can just go.
Yeah, I can go.
Stand there and do your thing at your convenience.
so we can do it at our convenience, or if some members want to go as a group, then we can
We don't have
deliberate
to
there.
discuss that now, we
Yeah.
can discuss that at a later time, it doesn't.
Well, I just wanted to let him know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if we're going at different times, it doesn't.
So what we're saying is I would come back on the 21st
There's no benefit.
and you guys have done your, and we'll figure out.
And we'll have seen it.
Yeah.
I can't do the 6th, it's all
All right, you go on your own, whoever else wants to go on their own can go on their own, but as a board, whoever can make it on the 16th will do 9 AM.
Okay.
So just say, for your reference, if your neighbors poking around on the 16th, that's us or some of
Do you
us.
have to advertise the 16th as a planning board meeting? Do you have to notify the public of that?
No, there's a big, all those, the consensus is you don't,
You're just
but
doing,
especially if we're not going all together.
We're not.
There's no
You don't
quorum
have to
before,
share.
which is what we sometimes recommend. As long as no meeting is, or no public business
Yes.
discussion is occurring.
all right,
You decide.
so we'll have everything back for you for the 21st.
Great.
All right, thank you.
Do you need anything else from me or?
I don't think so at this time. I think we just need to see it ourselves. And then if we have questions, we'll ask them at that next meeting.
Do you need to see photographs of these same panels on other houses?
That could help.
Yes.
That would be, if you have them.
They will be different from what's on your neighbors.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what my neighbors are at all. I have no idea, but,
If the company has them on other houses, like samples that they can show, is that what you mean?
yeah,
That would be helpful.
Yeah. okay.
We have that in-house.
We have it in the hall.
I didn't think it would be important to the packet, but because it wasn't his house.
All right, yeah, so we'll take a look at those as well. So we appreciate you coming out and being receptive to
Sure.
this additional request, and we'll get this squared away as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
I'm not taking anybody's map, am I?
No.
No, but if you find it, please let us know.
I didn't even know.
All right, so next, I will accept a motion to enter into executive session for the matter of personnel and employment reasons.
Tim just wanted me to bring this in, just so you have it here.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
I make a motion.
Motion by Laura, second by Brad, all in favor? Aye. All right, Dorothy, would you mind shutting that door?
Hang on, let me just end the live.
And our broadcast.
What the